$50,000. That's what some men are paying to get their hair back. And the results? Sometimes incredible, sometimes catastrophic, and sometimes a complete waste of money. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about hair transplants: what they are, how they work, what they actually cost, and whether they're worth it. No clinic sponsorships, no before and after photos that were taken in perfect lighting, just the real information. So, what exactly is a hair transplant? The concept is surprisingly simple. Hair follicles on the back and sides of your head are genetically resistant to DHT. Remember DHT? The hormone that destroys follicles on top of your head? The follicles on your sides and back don't care about DHT. They keep growing hair for life. A hair transplant takes those DHT resistant follicles and moves them to the balding areas on top of your head. Because they're genetically resistant, they keep growing in their new location permanently. That's the theory. Now let's talk about the reality. There are two main types of hair transplant procedures: FUT, follicular unit transplantation, also called the strip method. A surgeon cuts a strip of skin from the back of your head. Follicles are harvested from that strip. The wound is stitched closed, leaving a linear scar. FUE, follicular unit extraction, the newer method. Individual follicles are extracted one by one from the donor area using a tiny punch tool. No strip, no linear scar, just tiny dot scars that are nearly invisible. Which is better? FUE has largely replaced FUT as the preferred method. Here's why. No linear scar means you can wear your hair short without revealing the surgery. Recovery is faster, discomfort is less. The downside? FUE takes longer, costs more, and not every patient is a good candidate. Your surgeon will tell you which method suits your situation best, and choosing the right surgeon is everything. We'll get to that. Let's talk money, because this is where most people get surprised. In the United States, hair transplants typically cost between $4,000 and $15,000. Premium clinics in major cities can charge $20,000 or more. The price is usually calculated per graft. One graft equals 1 to 4 hairs. Most procedures require 1,000 to 3,000 grafts. At $5 to $10 per graft, the math adds up fast. Now, here's something important. Hair transplants are not covered by insurance. It's considered cosmetic surgery. You pay out of pocket every time. And yes, sometimes you need more than one procedure. If your hair loss continues after the transplant, which it will without medication, you may need additional sessions years later. This is why doctors almost always recommend staying on finasteride after a transplant to protect the hair you still have and preserve your results long term. The transplant fixes what's gone. The medication protects what remains. Let's talk about the things clinics don't put in their brochures. Shock loss. In the weeks after a transplant, many patients lose existing hair around the transplanted area. This is temporary for most people, but it's alarming if you don't know it's coming. Poor density. Some patients expect movie star results and get okay results. The number of grafts available is limited by your donor area. If you don't have enough donor hair, the results will look thin. Unnatural hairlines. A bad surgeon can give you a hairline that looks pluggy. Obvious. Fake. This was more common with older techniques, but still happens with inexperienced surgeons today. Infection and scarring. Rare but real risks with any surgical procedure. The biggest risk of all, choosing the wrong clinic. Hair transplant tourism is a booming industry. Men flying to Turkey or Eastern Europe for cheap procedures. Some of these clinics are excellent. Some are assembly lines performing 10 procedures a day with undertrained technicians. Research your surgeon obsessively. Look at real patient results, not the ones on the clinic website, independent forums, and communities. A bad hair transplant is worse than no hair transplant. So is a hair transplant worth it? For the right candidate, absolutely yes. If you have stable hair loss, enough donor hair, realistic expectations, and a skilled surgeon. The results can be genuinely life changing, natural looking, permanent, no daily medication required for the transplanted hair itself. But it's not for everyone. If you're young and still actively losing hair, wait. A transplant today on a 25-year-old who keeps losing hair will look unnatural in 10 years. The transplanted hair stays. The natural hair around it keeps falling out. Timing matters enormously. If your hair loss is too advanced, you may not have enough donor hair to achieve meaningful coverage. And if budget is a concern, there are effective non-surgical options. Minoxidil and finasteride together can deliver real results at a fraction of the cost. Like here's our honest take. A hair transplant is the most permanent and potentially most impressive solution to hair loss, but it requires the right timing, the right surgeon, and the right expectations. Do your research. Talk to multiple surgeons. Don't rush, and whatever you decide, own it. That's Balding Out Loud. Science, honesty, stick figures. Subscribe for a new video every week. Drop your questions below. We read every single one. See you next week.